Anybody coming into the 9s to 7s, paid for sure. This is E from MarketWizards.com and eMoneyWizard.com. Mining traders use risk capital you can afford to lose. Just before 10 o'clock on the 9th of October, 2019. This is our demon. High of that bar is resistance until broken. 18 and a quarter is the demon. And anybody coming back into that 12 and a half, paid for sure. And then if you can get a little bit more, like that 7 we talked about, good for you. Reminder, we were looking at this box right here, the 7 and a quarter. We said 25 resistance basis, the monthly, and then back to 7s. If you could get there, do it. Don't overthink this. Got news, I believe, at 10 o'clock. A reminder that Yom Kippur, we have probably some traders on the sidelines. The theoretical idea has always been sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. Don't know statistically if that has any significance, but that's an old axiom. And it obviously would start to reflect the idea of a rally going into Christmas time. But we may have lighter volume today because of the Jewish holiday. This has been very helpful. Anybody that's got your VIG already today based on this box, using 22s to 25 resistance, paid for sure. Coming in, we said to the 9s to the 7s. We've said that this guy right here is our squeeze pivot. This was the launch right here. Bang. If you had to go and say, okay, I'm going to find a third time through trade, teeny one, probably be right here. See it? 1, 2, 3, third time through. So this is a small third time through trade. And look how our resistance has held for this test coming back into that bottom half of the pipe. I want to continue to use the words that will help you to understand the terminology. This is the pipe on any chart, that middle, plus or minus 1 level. I said be very conservative this morning. Don't overthink it. Grab something out of the swings if we can. Take a look at how we have come back into our theoretical support, the pivot point, and also the green and the blue line and the red line coming up. I said we're probably going to shake both sides, right? Which we've done. Here's your opening bar. We've shaken both sides. That's a non-directional type open. Here's that first bar. See how we've shaken out? All of a sudden we shake out everybody that's in early coming this way, and then, oh yeah, we're going this way, and then we obviously come back and we shake out that bottom too. So this is usually interpreted as non-directional open. Rain line still helpful as resistance. Said it would be a tricky open. Grab what you can out of 10-point range if you can. Go back here and let's set this up. Got ourselves about a dime, just a little bit more. I'm going to put this on a 1. Take what you can. Very tricky open today. For those of you who've got the widget, make sure you have plugged it in. This should be today 0, 0, and this one should be -1 now. And that gives us the previous day's resistance and support and the middle. Now, it immediately should come to your attention that yesterday's middle is 7.5. And that's the thing that really helps with this type of a system is you can spot that. Say, oh, that's yesterday's RTH middle. It's very visual. Don't overthink it. If you are trying a buy, an aggressive buy, reminder, we've got the half gap back in the 03 area. And we're considering that as support. Pre-market, we said make sure you are done by 05, just to be conservative. So that should be our half gap zone right there. Very tricky open. A little bit early for me to put on the angels and demons, but we know right in here is obviously the middle of the angels and demons. It's 19.5 from yesterday. So far has been resistance. And come back in here and take a look at the middle between the angels and demons, and you can see that support still holding too. Got to break this. This was perfect resistance yesterday, which was the middle of angels and demons at the time. Range type trading. This 05 is our theoretical support. Base of this thrust bar. Obviously, you want to make sure you're paid by. And the middle typically is something that we are going to pay attention to. And right now, the thrust is up, contra, and still we have range type trade, and that's my expectation that we're not going to get a big move. I think right now we've got some range trading that the market's trying to figure out and be happy. If we get a sustained move, I think that any sustained move will be aborted coming into lunch. That's just typical on FOMC minutes. For now, we are keeping 22s, 23s as our aggressive resistance.